Alright, in this video I continue on in my new Java world. Again, this is my first time ever playing in Java. So just going on a mining trip, just going around getting iron and diamonds and those type of things, beginning of world type things. If this is your first time being here, thank you for clicking on the video. Please like and subscribe, it really helps me out a lot. The majority of the people that watch these videos aren't subscribed, so please help me out. Other than that, let's just get into the video. Again, a real quick trigger warning, some of these guys are kind of unhinged and very crazy, so trigger warning. Alright, let's get into the video. The first story. Once again, I am fantasizing about offing people to cope with the fact that I can't have schmecks. The anger and pain I feel over the fact that I have been denied schmecks for my entire life, and the fact that I didn't get to experience schmecks once at all in my youth is intolerable. I regularly have episodes where I feel sharp pains in my chest, and my arms feel light and numb. The only thing that helps me is fantasizing about offing people. I have extended, elaborate fantasies about offing people. Sometimes they are cartoonish, like I imagine myself as Homelander and I level a city, then threaten to level another if the world doesn't give me a hot woman to have schmecks with. Other times they are more grounded, like I imagine punishing society by doing a mass pew-pewing before offing myself on the day I finally decide I have nothing left to lose. In my fantasies, nobody is spared. I target the most vulnerable to incur the maximum degree of suffering on society. These fantasies help me to get through particularly painful episodes because I escape into a fictional reality where I feel I have been delivered some measure of justice. There are two aspects to my pain. The first is the injuries I have already suffered, the experience of my life thus far at 31 years of age. My youth has come and gone, and I didn't get to experience schmecks once. I think about the countless number of cute girls I've known and met and came across throughout my life who I felt attracted to, none of whom felt attracted to me. It feels so gravely unjust to me that everyone else gets to experience mutual sexual interest, but I don't. For some reason, I've been designated to be denied that experience. When I think about this, rage and anger wash over me. The second aspect is the fact that there is no light at the end of the tunnel for me. As I get older, I get even uglier. My hair gets thinner. My face sags further off my underdeveloped facial bones. There is zero evidence to indicate that there is any chance I'll meet a cute girl who wants to have schmecks with me. Zero. There is no path to happiness for me. Let me say that again. There is no path to happiness for me. I want society to answer what it expects me to do when there is no effing path to happiness for me. How am I supposed to think about destroying other people's lives before ending my own when there is zero chance I will ever be glad to be alive? Explain that to me. Society expects me to just sit here and accept the dogshite hand I was dealt. For what reason exactly? Effing give me some effing answers. There's no path to happiness for me. Society needs to give me some effing, cunting, effing answers. In post. The thing about finding stuff like this online is you have to do the dance of figuring out whether or not this person was genuine or if they're rage baiting or they're trying to get engagement, trying to lure the real crazy people out, or if they are themselves or the real crazy. And it comes to a point, it's like I said, you have to do that dance. So you don't know if somebody should actually be involved and do like a wellness check on this guy and do a psych eval on him, because this dude seems like he's inches from doing something crazy if he's genuine. The fact that he said he'll imagine himself as Homelander, which Homelander of all people, which I haven't even watched that show, The Boys, but I just know Homelander is just a straight demon in every shape, form, and fashion of a human being. Seeing yourself as him, he said something that kind of put me on, like, he seems like he's in the red pill spaces. Or I don't even know if Clavicker is a red pill person, but like, he said something about his underdeveloped facial bones, made me think about Clavicker. So, like I said, the stories like this are kind of scary because it's very passionate. I feel like it's honest. Again, everyone's going to have to do that dance for themselves. Because that's the thing, if you do take it seriously and you go show up to this person's house, that's taxpayers' money, because they, police and people got to be involved and figure out the oohs and ahs of the situation. So you have to pay somebody to do all that. So it's not a free thing to investigate every situation like this. So that's why things like this don't really get taken seriously until it's too late. Because, after all the tragedies that happened, they're like, we found their manifesto and they talked about doing this for years and nothing was done. And I'm pretty sure, especially at this point with all these AI data centers, there's probably people who have access to literally everything on our phones, everything on our computers, everything that we type out, anything we talk into, it's probably monitored at this point. I wouldn't be surprised. So stuff like this can be caught and prevented. So hopefully, either way, this person's off his rocker. But hopefully this person is not serious. But again, it's just scary how some people, think that's going to be their key to happiness, is lying down with somebody. And at this point, if you're that desperate, dude, just pay for it. But they think the end all be all that will keep them happy and keep them from hurting themselves or hurting other people would be their access to this. For whatever reason, they made this their God that is so unachievable, and they feel like it would answer all their questions. I feel bad for them. I don't even want to crack jokes on his behalf. I don't want to, because there's really people out there who think it's the end all be all. There's people who genuinely think this will be what makes them happy, but then it's just going to be the next thing. And or if you do get in a relationship, what's next? Because that's not the only thing involved in a relationship. So a relationship's constant work. So how do you plan on finding yourself in this situation and getting that? You already view yourself as undesirable. So what are you going to do? You've had 31 years on this planet, and this is the conclusion you're jumping to. That's why you got to see people like this. Like, did you even try in life? Where are you at? Because I'm sure everybody watching this video has seen a very unattractive man with a woman, or in a relationship with a woman, in any shape, form, or fashion, married, have kids with them. Doesn't matter. An unattractive man with a beautiful woman. You have seen it. It is possible. It is out there. But for whatever reason, there's this percentage of people that just feel like it is impossible for them. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of this one. I want to hear your opinions. I want to hear your thoughts, comments, and concerns. And that's all I got for this one. This one is very crazy. He's off his rocker. He needs help. Even if it is rage bait, it was very detailed, too detailed, looking at it with a side eye. Next story. The next post. My wife, 28 female, doesn't like the consequences of pressuring me, 28 male, to see my brother, 26, again. I won't get into the whole backstory, but summed up simply, my brother was a violent kid who abused me physically throughout our childhood. Our parents got him all the help they could, but it didn't stop his violent tendencies. When I turned 18, I went no contact and spent a decade having nothing to do with him. My parents were heartbroken but claimed they understood. I met my wife 8 years ago, and I was upfront about my brother's violence toward me. She was horrified by the scars I could show her and stories I could tell about his violence, and she promised to always have my back about being no contact. We have a son, one together, and things were going great until 3 months ago. My brother was in prison for over a year, and he was released on parole. Our parents were convinced he was a whole new person and tried to plan a dinner with the whole family. I refused and told them I wasn't going. They went to my wife, and she decided we should go. I told her no, and I made myself clear that if she wanted to go and risk him attacking her, then I could not stop her, but I wouldn't deal with it again. She wore me down, and when I finally gave in, I warned her that I would resent and blame her as well if he tried to attacked me again. She told me she was willing to take the risk, and I needed to see that people could change. She was very confident I would be eating my words and we'd be fine. We're not fine at all. We actually have marriage counseling starting in 2 weeks, but the dinner went as bad as I expected. Our son was with my wife's parents because that was one hard rule I set so he was safe. But my brother hasn't changed. He's still a hothead, and my quietness at dinner got him so worked up he tried to attack me, and he managed to back me into a corner. My wife had to call the police, and he was sent back to prison. I was fine physically. Emotionally, not as much. I knew it would happen. I feel like shite for letting my wife convince me in the first place, but I feel so utterly angry with her for pushing so hard and going back on her promise to always support me. She apologized, but it's like I told her. She knew my very real first-hand account and saw the proof on my body, and she still pushed. Had my reflexes been poor, then I was effed, and if he had gone for her, then she was. My dad almost got it too, but he'd still forgive my brother like he did all the other times. My wife doesn't think it's fair for me to blame her, and she doesn't like that we need marriage counseling over it, or that the intimacy has been gone since. I asked her if she really expected me to be like, oh, it's okay. Why not try again when he's released again? I told her she would rather believe my parents and protect my safety, and she would have brought our son if he hadn't dug my heels in there. She's unhappy about the therapy, but she's agreeing to go. In reality, this is a consequence, and it's the only way our marriage could potentially get back on track. But I'm not sure, given how adamant she was, that I go face my brother. But I'm trying because I love her, and we have a son. But I'm not really sure what to expect because she regrets it. But she also doesn't seem to fully grasp the seriousness of this. In post. So briefly, real quick, before I give my thoughts, I see a lot of people tearing down his wife and like acting like his wife is the worst person on earth. But I have a whole nother aspect on the situation, and you people are probably gonna hate me for this. You're telling me you're getting bitched by your little brother? Your little brother backed you in a corner and you feared for your life? And had he attacked your wife, you wouldn't have done anything, she would just be effed? I'm sorry, man. Hey, nah, this situation, people are literally tearing your wife a whole new one and acting like your wife is the worst person on earth for trying to see better in a situation. And again, I understand there's levels to it, because one of the comments that I did kind of resonate with is people who've never been in a situation just simply can't resonate. And I can agree. I've never been in a situation where I feared another man. I've never been in that type of situation. I've never been in a situation where I felt like another person was putting me in danger. So I can see that aspect. But again, you're the older brother that fears your little brother. And had he put his hands on your wife, you would have did nothing. She was just going to be screwed. It's kind of what I'm kind of stuck on. Because when I first read the story, I didn't even acknowledge the ages that were at the beginning. I just thought this was like your older brother or something. Which even then, it doesn't matter, because a younger brother can be bigger than their older brother. So obviously, if there's a big size difference. But overall, having this fear and this avoidance. So my question to you is, when your son's growing up and he's facing something or he's scared of something, you're just going to encourage him to run from it forever? You're going to encourage him to never let it go? I don't feel like, again, I'm not trying to dog you as a man or anything, or say you're less of a man in any type of way. But again, I don't think fearing things, fearing people, I don't think your wife is a terrible person for hoping the best in the situation. And for whatever reason, people on the internet act like forgiving people is such a freaking dishonorable thing all of a sudden. Being forgiveness at the end of the day is more so for you than it is for the other person, because it allows you to just let a situation go. You holding on to resentment, you holding on, again, just constantly running from the situation is going to keep making things worse to the point that where they're at now. I don't think it makes your wife a terrible person for being hopeful that someone changed. That doesn't make people a terrible person. Again, now that she knows now, she probably would never do that again. For you to hold that against her and be resentful towards her for being hopeful in the situation. Again, I get all the context, but again, your wife probably doesn't want you running from this forever. Your wife did not come in this with negative intentions. So you're punishing her for what? You resent her for what? Yes, the situation went bad. Is that her fault? No, she just had faith that a situation could be good. And had it been good, there'd be no issue, right or wrong. Again, I understand you being upset at the situation and how it went, but you holding resentment for the situation that was out of her control because she wanted you to have faith in something. Again, that she had absolutely no control in it. It's just, I don't know. I want to hear the comments on this one. Like, I really want to know if I'm missing the mark. Because again, I'm not trying to overlook your experience with this person. I'm just questioning running from something or running from someone forever. If you want to continue no contact moving forward, then it is what it is. But I'm stuck on punishing your wife for it. I understand it was her idea for you to go. I understand she pushed you to go. But her intentions weren't bad. So why are you holding that against her? The situation is what it is. You're just forever going to be scared of your little brother. That's the life you want to live. You're going to run from it forever. Not even run from it, but be in fear of it. So like I said, you can avoid something. That's not the issue. It's the having a fear of your brother. I feel like that's kind of whack. Or when it comes to this conversation, I guess it just boils down to like a lot of comments are pointing out I've never feared a person, so it just because you feel like it was your wife not looking out for you, not looking out for your safety, your wife not listening to you and caring about your fear, and like I said, caring about your safety. That's the way you view it. I'm viewing it from as an outsider looking in. The motion wasn't with bad intent. She wasn't looking for you to get hurt. That was not her intent in any shape, way, form, or fashion. Is that the result of what happened? Yes, unfortunately. Giving her intent, I don't think that makes her a horrible person or a horrible wife for her wanting you to, be hopeful that your brother changed. The situation happened, she was wrong. If you want to punish her, it's your marriage, but I don't know. Let me know your comments down below. If you agree with me, disagree, because I ultimately understand why people are saying what they're saying, but I'm looking at it from a more intent on her end wasn't bad. I get why everyone's saying the situation's as bad as it is. I understand what he has gone through and his fears and everything. I'm not trying to be dismissive of that, even though my comments earlier did seem dismissive. But again, I've never feared somebody, so maybe I would think otherwise if I had a fear of another person. I'll leave it at that. Next post. The next post is just a set of messages. Said, most moms can. Do you have siblings? Nope, only child. What about you? Same. Nice. Oh my god. Okay, so what? How many kids are you going to want? Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not 100% sure on kids. Oof. Like, they stress me out. I'm not sure how I feel about that, to be honest. And I don't want them in the way of my career, which is so fair. If it's a deal breaker, I totally understand. It is, to be honest. F. I wish you would have told me ahead of time. I really had my hopes up with you. We literally just started talking, lol. I'm sorry, ? Don't apologize, it's early on though. I hope you find a girl and have an amazing family. I understand that, however, you seem super sweet and kind and actually different from other women I've talked to. So yeah, I did have my hopes up. Go F yourself, asshole. Oh my god. Stupid ass. Whoa. Hey, all I can say is at least you didn't waste your time. Like you said, you just started talking. He made his intentions up front. He said, oh, this isn't going to work out. He took it upon himself to, instead of just cracking the door, leaving the door open for, a future, he just decided to just burn the bridge all at once. Like I said, save both you some time. So, hey, he might be a little unhinged, but that was a good play by him. I'm obviously joking. I don't know what made him snap like that and go off like that. Like I said, he just literally, instead of leaving the door open for you to change your mind in the future, he just completely burned that bridge to some real unhinged stuff. You even wished him well, hoped he finds a girl that wants to have kids with him and all that stuff. You said that's not your priority, that's not what you want right now. They're going to get in the way of your career. You gave your reasons. But again, his hopes were to the moon with you. For whatever reason, I don't know what you did to, get his hopes up that high, that quick. Because like you said, you just started talking. But hey, good luck out there. Stay safe. The next post. Am I an asshole for wanting a say in how my wife gives birth? From Anonymous. I refused to touch my wife after she gave birth, and now everyone says I'm a monster. Before our baby arrived, I told my wife I was uncomfortable with natural birth because I believe it could change our intimacy forever. But when labor came, she chose a natural delivery anyway, saying she didn't want to go through surgery. I felt ignored. Like my opinion as her husband means nothing. It's been months since she gave birth, and I still can't bring myself to be intimate with her because I feel she made a life-changing decision without considering my wishes. My family says I'm punishing a woman who carried and delivered my child. I say she dismissed my feelings and went against what I said. Am I really the villain here, or does a husband have a say on how a wife should give birth? Are you the villain? Absolutely. This woman dealt with 9 months of misery carrying this child for you, something you put in her, and you want her to have surgery instead of giving a natural birth. So you would rather have a zipper underneath her belly button or a C-section scar. That was a joke, but it could come off as sensitive. Because some people are forced to have a C-section and then they have that scar. So you rather your wife have a C-section scar than it just snap back to normal after the doctor said 6 weeks. Coming from a person who has a child, after a while, you can't tell the difference. It's exactly the same as it was, speaking from my experience. There probably are situations where a man can tell a difference after a natural birth. This is the most childish thing I've ever heard. There's some things in a relationship where it's like, just shut up. And when it comes to anything birth related, anything labor, pregnancy related, I feel like as a man, it's your job to just shut up and just kind of bend over backwards. For the woman in a situation, it's not about you. You're making the pregnancy, again, 9 months of labor, carrying this child. You're making it about you because she had a natural birth instead of going through surgery. At this point, it's like you don't even care about the birth at all. You just care that, I'm assuming from your reasoning, you feel like it's not going to be the same. Which again, 9 times out of 10, can't tell the difference after the child's here. You are actively punishing the woman who gave birth to your child. You feel like she dismissed your feelings when, again, I feel like you're being absolutely unreasonable in this scenario. It is unreasonable for you to have a want in how the baby is delivered. You're not the one going through the pain. And again, I feel like your reason for her getting the surgery over a natural birth is probably something really stupid. Because now you're saying you won't touch her, so I can imagine what your reason is. And to you, you're an absolute dumbass. And yes, you are the villain in this scenario. You are being a dick for absolutely no reason. You are being a man-child. My wishes were ignored because your wife decided to have her natural birth over going through surgery, having a C-section scar, and having a zipper underneath her belly button. I hope you get help. I hope the situation worked its way out. I hope you were able to become an adult, a man, and get over the situation. Because again, I feel like it only could be one reason why you wanted a C-section over, and it just shows how ignorant you are to women's bodies. And to be fair, you could be ignorant to it, and when I say ignorant, I just mean you are just unaware of something. Because I was. A lot of stuff dealing with pregnancy I was unaware of. A lot of stuff I didn't understand. It is what it is. But I feel like you could simply ask a doctor. You could simply ask other people who have had children. There's a whole lot of information out there that would help you out in this scenario. But you holding this grudge, and you said you haven't touched her in months. So the 6 weeks has passed. You're good to go, dickhead. You're robbing yourself now. So now you're both suffering for absolutely no reason because you are a man-child that feels like it's not the same because it was a natural birth. Again, I understand you may not know something, but you have robbed yourselves of months of pleasure between you and your wife because you don't understand something. Instead of doing research, you decided to get butthurt and say she went against your wishes instead of just understanding the reality of the situation. Again, I hope you grow up. I hope you guys are able to get past this and have, go back to having a beautiful marriage and taking care of that baby. But yes, you're dumb. You're dumb. She didn't dismiss your feelings by having a natural birth. A natural birth means it happened naturally. So why are you trying to go against nature? Most people wish to have just a healthy baby and a natural birth, but you wanted the surgery for something stupid. Whew, okay, next story. The next post. I'm being rage baited. There's no way people are this dumb. Hotel breakfast buffet. Been awake since 3 a.m. It was super busy today. One lady, there's something wrong with your toaster. It burned my toast. Walk over. Well, you see you set it to 6, so it'll do that. You don't have to be rude about it. I feel like I do. Agree to disagree. Next lady, your yogurt is like milk. That's because that's milk. The yogurt is over there. You should have that labeled. Points at the label. She storms off. When are you going to have more eggs? As I'm walking in front of him with eggs. I just set it down without breaking eye contact and went back into the kitchen. It's all day with this shite, dude. I am no longer amused, lol. End post. I feel like as human beings, we all have our dumb moments. And one of the greatest things that I was told in college by my professor was, don't ask me for the answer to your question, at least until you at least tried to find the answer for yourself. And that's kind of how I live my life now. Like whenever I run across something and I try to figure it out first before I ask for help. I feel like that's the most you can do, but it happens a lot. Like it just blows my mind how many people walk around and just don't have common sense. Obviously, everyone's heard the term common sense isn't so common. Someone will literally walk up to you and ask for something that's right in their face, or like, I don't know. Like I said, some people don't even try. Like, I feel bad going up to, like, for example, I'll go to Walmart to get some groceries. You know, I pull up the Walmart app. I'm looking for something. I just genuinely don't see it. I'll ask for help. You know, at least I tried first. Some people just, I'm gonna just go ask for help. Don't even try. We'll be in the aisle and just like not even look. They'll just ask for help. And it sucks in situations like that when you are the person whose job it is to help people. It's like you said, like it's all day. You just kind of get used to it. It doesn't bother anymore. It doesn't even make sense. It's just all day. Like, it's just really hard not to be a dick in those situations or try to be a smart ass when people ask you the Captain Obvious ass questions. So I feel you, bro. I've been in a lot of those scenarios in life, and I've probably been on the other end of it too, where I'm like, so again, it happens to the best of us, but some things are just so obvious. It's like, why are you asking me for help? But I thought that was a funny story to share. That's all I got for this video. If you made it this far, I really, really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. It really helps me out a lot, really means a lot to me. You're helping the channel grow by staying this long and engaging with the video, so I really appreciate you. Other than that, no real deep messages into this one. Hope you have a good day. Hope you have a beautiful life. And hope you have a good week. All right, see you next time. Take it easy. Bye.